Hi, this is Maggie. Today I'm looking at the chart of Pete Davidson. I'm going to look at his transits and his progressions. I just looked at ARIANA's, and then I'll probably look at their compatibility chart again as a whole and look at the transits and progressions and see what's going on with these two, their recent breakup. So Pete Davidson has I've already done his chart separately and Ariana's and a compatibility chart of that there. So anyway, Pete has Pluto in his 12th house as well. It's generational. His progressed Pluto, rather, is in Capricorn in the 12th house. And his Saturn is in conjunct the moon in the 11th house. So the breakup has been very, the moon would signify a woman, and Saturn is separation. And so, he's separated from the woman he loves. They just broke up. And it's very public, it's all over social media, and that would be the 11th house. So Pluto in the 12th in Capricorn would signify endings, loss, it rules Scorpio, so it's and it's conjunct Neptune, so yeah, it's a breakup with a musician for one thing. Yeah, so it's he's going through it as well, but it's on for him in his career. Almost all his transits, the transits will be in green, and the progressions are in red. In the outer wheel, and his natal chart is the inner wheel in black. So pretty much it's going on in his career. I mean, it is so on for him in his career. He's very much a Scorpio. Most of his planets are in Scorpio. So, it's such a draw for him. For these two, I really would like to see these two get back together, Pete and Ariana, because there is such a draw for them. So his transiting moon is in the 9th house. It's on his midheaven in Scorpio. And Jupiter, progressed Jupiter is in Scorpio. And it's just right on his sun. So he is very, very lucky with his career right now. It is, and joint assets and joint resources, and Jupiter can signify endings too. It is Scorpio season, it's like, and there's been a lot of transformative changes in Pete's life. I mean, beginning with his father passing away at a very young age, 9/11, and that shows his natal first house Saturn. Saturn would signify his father, affecting his personality, his first house personality in Aquarius. So kind of jumping around with this, but it's kind of like looking at 3 charts in one when you look at the natal chart with the transits and the progression. So, but it's really going on in his career right now, because the 10th house is career. When you look for someone's career, you look to the midheaven. And Capricorn rules the midheaven. He has the north node, natal north node, and Mars in the midheaven. But right now, transiting, he has Mercury, planet of communication, Venus, planet of love, so, and the Sun, and the midheaven, and Mars, all transiting his 10th and 11th house in Sagittarius. So he's very much in the public eye. Venus was up there somewhere. Yeah, communication about his love life, that's been all over. And his North Node and Mars, there's a conjunction, the Mars-Venus conjunction is very attractive. You know, I mean, he was engaged. He's getting married, and he still may. They still may. I believe the tragedy in Ariana's life and everything. She just. I feel like she just needs a timeout, and that he totally gets it. And they probably talked about it, and you know, he has such empathy, being such a deep Scorpio. He's got five five or six planets in Scorpio. So he totally gets where she's coming from. They probably mutually agreed about this, you know, taking a time out and maybe reassessing at a later date. Um, and so meanwhile, he's focusing on his career. He's really in the limelight right now. And she's off writing music and taking the time out and healing her deep wounds from her ex-boyfriend just passing away, you know. Uh, yeah, famous rapper just overdosed, and people are blaming her, you know, for his death, which is just ridiculous. And so he has such empathy for that. He loves her very, very much, and you know, their love is in the spotlight because it's in the 10th house. And 10th house is public eye. So his career, his engagement to the woman he loves, uh, all of that, and his north node, you know, Mercury and Venus are conjunct the north node. So yeah, and I just feel like, well, I feel like this, they will always be friends, that they will always have a place in each other's heart. Um, that this engagement is true. I think it is true love for them. It is being played out in the public eye, though, because everything for him is up in the midheaven. And so it's great for his career. It's great for his career. It's very hard for the breakup, the public breakup, but he understands it. He gets it. He understands it. He's still very, very much in love. And his Pluto conjunct Neptune, sorry, I'm kind of jumping around. His Pluto, his transiting Pluto. Everyone has Pluto and Saturn transiting Capricorn. So his Pluto is in the 12th house, and so is hers. So is Ariana's. Ariana Grande's is in the 12th house. And so that's some deep psychological changes, you know, and processing. And his is conjunct Neptune. So, you know, this breakup, you know, he may not have seen it coming, but he deeply understands the whole process because, you know, he's been through it with his father at a very young age, and so he understands where she's coming from, and he understands death. And as a Scorpio, he is very, very deep. He has a lot of depth to him, and he understands the mystery, the great mystery of life and death and passage. And so it's his Jupiter return, you know, his progressed Jupiter return. Jupiter is conjunct his sun, and so, you know, his deep belief system, because it is in Sagittarius's house, the 9th house of, you know, beliefs and higher values, and yeah, you know, so he just lives that out through his dark comedy. I mean, and through his life and his. Yeah, I think personally, I think they're perfect for each other. I really, really do. Um, and I'm very happy for his career. I think he's doing great. His career, it's on for him. It's in the limelight. It's all about his 10th house of career, love and communication, you know, about his breakup. Um, but I think it could be temporary. And if they are, you know, they're both very young, And if they are going to call it off, it would be a mutual understanding. And he would have a depth of understanding about it. And I really believe that they have a soul connection and that they would be friends for life because, because they have such a strong connection. But Neptune is on his ascendant. Well, actually, Neptune is in Pisces in his first house, and his transiting, let's see, his transiting, sorry about that. Yeah. So his progressed ascendant, I'm sorry, is in, you know, your progressions move 1 degree a year. So his progressed ascendant is in Pisces, and his transiting Neptune is in the first house in Pisces. His first house is huge. It comprises both Aquarius and Pisces. So Neptune, transiting Neptune, it's the ruler of Pisces, you know, so it rules the arts and imagination and comedy and all of that. But, you know, he may not have seen this coming. It's like the veil was lifted and, you know, this just kind of hit him. And so he's probably taking it pretty hard. But at the same time, he's rolling with the punches. He knows how to do that because being such a solid Scorpio, he knows all about life and death and processing, and he's like a living, breathing, walking persona of Scorpio. So he is the master of that, and he understands it. Although the veil for him was lifted, you know, during this breakup, but I believe there's a mutual understanding and love there. And I'm kind of hoping they get back together. So anyway, I will, if you enjoyed this, please like and subscribe, and I will take a look at I will take a look at their chart together. I just wanted to look at them separately first. So anyway, I'm going to end this. All right, thank you.